Dumper Dan's charter fishing fleet in the Port of Sheboygan is Wisconsin's proven charter fishing leader, running the most trips and catching the most fish. Enjoy great fishing for trout and salmon aboard one of our 6 fully equipped modern charter boats with experience and professional crews. See why Dumper Dan's is the most popular name in the industry. We offer fishing and lodging packages featuring the best in riverfront condos and hotel accommodations. Half or 3/4 day trips available, so call to make your reservations today or log on to dumperdan.com. Dumper Dan's charter fishing fleet, Wisconsin's proven charter fishing leader.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Little Cheddar of Outer Points Productions, and I am joined in the booth this time by the owner of Strong Knife Company, that gentleman right over here, and one of the tournament directors helping Michael Taylor of the Cue It Up Tour get familiarized with digital pool and helping out with today's events. And what an event it has been so far for the varsity club.
Yeah.
So put your hands together in the chat for the one and only Matt Strong. Somewhat of a fairly decent player himself.
Okay-ish. We'll say.
But we're in for some fireworks again on the stream table with some very mediocre commentary. It's what we do best. So we're going to get the players fired up and lagging. It is, again, Margaret Fefilova Styer and a 16-year-old young man from Minnesota. His name is Harrison Leinen, and
he goes by Hank, I believe.
Hank.
Yep.
So
I've
Pete Besta already in the chat saying liked and shared, and that's one of the things that we do ask of our viewers if they have an opportunity to, if they're not already a subscriber. Here, I guess this is kind of the best way to do it. Just kind of show it to you. Hit that like and subscribe button, and then hit that little bell because we're going to be going live a couple more times tonight, I believe.
Yeah, we've got a ton of good matches coming up yet. So we've had some really good ones so far. We've had this tournament has definitely been hyped up just by the player list that we had out there. Just some phenomenal players. I know when I shared the link on WPPS today, I looked at the average Fargo for this tournament, basically the entire field. And we've got probably a half a dozen that are probably 550 and below. So a lot of players, a handful of players just coming out here for some awesome experience. But the average was 655 for the overall average.
That is a steep field.
And then I took the top 10. Guess what the average was just for the top 10?
Just the top 10. I'm guessing probably around 690, 695. Just
712.
Holy cow.
So we've got an over 700 average for 10 players in the field. So
that's not a bad tournament. And if I remind me, Matt, total Kolkata was 6750, correct?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, we had, I think the first open bid was, and this happens a lot of times, is it seems like everybody's sleeping. So the first open bid went for 500, then the next one went for 800, and I think the next one was 650. So
all right.
Some good Kolkata dollars in here now. So Margaret's got a bit of a tester here, shooting over a ball. Obviously, it's an easy shot to make by itself, but jacked up over a ball like that definitely adds a lot of difficulty to it.
Tough to get shape.
Hit it well, and now she's got a 2-ball. I'm not sure she has a pocket available there with this one, so this one could be a little bit tricky. I don't think she's going. Well, she's aiming it up like she's going after it, so we'll see.
I like the two-way shot on this, and hear me out before
I call you an idiot. Okay. You want 5 seconds or 10 seconds? You're just going to wait till she shoots? Or
3 rails on the 2-ball. Keep the cue ball behind the 9, and if it goes by the 7, great. If not, you got shape on the 3.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's start with how bad of an idea that was.
Because it did go past the 4.
It did, yeah.
I
From
didn't
this
know
angle,
that it
was
went-
hard to see.
You know what? I'm just going to leave you in here by yourself.
Well, I couldn't see it either, so that was definitely not on you. That was from this angle. Maybe if we might have had a certain camera angle that would have helped with that one. But from here in the booth, it looked like it did not go for sure. So
Good start for Margaret.
but yeah, really. So now she's just working on getting that 6 ball. The rest of the balls are open and available. I don't see any issues going back and forth here. So she's probably going to be looking at trying to get some sort of break shot angle off of the 5 to get the 6 out, or might be just playing to play a safe on that 6 ball. So
Good stroke on the 5 ball. I believe she's got a little bit of an angle there.
yeah, she's rocking that new Viking cue. And that was one thing, Margaret is one of the house pros here. We have 2 of them, which are pretty awesome. It took my role away, and I'm pissed about it.
You know, how rude of them.
I used to be the big shot around here, and now I'm freaking peanuts compared to these guys.
Yeah, well, I hear you. What are you going to do? You know, when the Styer's coming to town,
Yeah, no kidding.
they're just taking over the joint.
Yeah. So, anyways, so Margaret and Tyler play here at varsity pretty much every day, if they're around anyway, if they're not out traveling for tournaments. And Margaret was talking, just
Didn't quite get it.
loved how this cue hit.
Yep.
She was going through, kind of the process of finding a new sponsor, and
Look at we even
trying
got
a lot
their
of different
posters
cues.
up and everything. Look at that. That's
yeah, no
I
kidding.
mean-
That's so cool. Yeah, so we've got super high ceilings here at varsity, which is, I think, one of the best parts of the atmosphere. Like, it's just has that big room feel to it,
it does.
which is cool. But yeah, so like I said, she was trying to get a break, missed the break, so went for the carom. Instant winner. I like it. All right, so
Short
first
rack,
blood.
first one to Margaret.
I just saw the picture of Hank on the screen. He looks so young.
He's
He does
16.
not look that young in person.
Hey, he
I mean,
looks-
yeah, he looks like a kid for sure, but holy cow, he looks like he's 12.
I was thinking the same thing.
That picture.
I even asked him, I'm like, Harrison, do
Do you have your parents here?
Yeah, the Junior Knockout Challenge isn't until July, you know?
Yeah, you're going to have to
You're-
go home
you're
after
a-
9 o'clock because minors aren't allowed here without a parent.
You're a little bit early. Like 2 months.
All right, so Margaret's on the board. You can see how much time she's spending on the rack. That's one thing that, people go out and they want to spend $800 on a brake cue. And, good equipment is great. Don't get me wrong. But you are going to be way better off just spending more time learning how to rack, because you can benefit so much more just by learning how to rack, which balls you have to get tight to make which balls go in the rack. It's going to make a huge difference in your game.
Well, it's like going on the golf course or going to Golf Galaxy or somewhere else and buying the new driver and using the same exact golf swing that you've been hitting it in the woods with for 30 years.
It just goes very cleanly into the woods.
Right.
Is that how that works?
And then you're, $3.50 for a brand new Titleist Pro V, and you can't find it in 6 feet of water. It doesn't work that way.
Right. Well, maybe Scuba Steve, who was in on the chat, could help us out with that one.
What's going on, Scuba Steve? All right. That one bounced out just a smidge on Margaret, leaving Harrison with a very super thin cut on the 1 ball, but manageable.
Yeah, she definitely wanted to hide that in behind that 4 ball tight. That's one of those things, too, that I think some people take a little bit for granted is you just want to get behind the ball. Well, if you can freeze that cue ball against that ball you're trying to get behind, that can turn from getting another shot to a game winner.
Night and day difference. No
ball
doubt
in
about it.
hand, especially at this level, is pretty much a guaranteed win for most players. So, tried to spin it behind that 8 ball.
and
Didn't get, wasn't too bad, but man, didn't quite hide it. So, Margaret's in pretty good shape here. Definitely easy to make this ball. The difficulty here is going to be to get back out on the 2 ball.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is a good ball to be slow rolling.
No. Well,
Maybe
it
like
depends.
a drag draw.
I think the 8 ball goes, or the 2 ball goes by the 8.
Yes.
I think this one does.
Yes.
So, with that being the case, yeah, I don't think the slow roll here would be the worst idea. The hard part is if she doesn't, she's got to navigate around that 9 ball. The 9 ball's big here. Yeah.
All right. She came out okay.
It.
So Justin Ellingson asking how full is KO 3.0. I have 4 spots remaining out of 16. So if you know of anybody or you are one of those players in the chat that would like to participate, if you are between 626 and 660, or I'm sorry, 650 Fargo.
You son of a bitch. 656.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Dale.
No. So, it is between 626 and 650.
Yeah, and I am a 656.
Oh, well, you'll have to wait until August.
I'd rather be at the top of the range than the bottom of the range. But that's just me.
Yes, it is.
All right, so the ball would have went by the 8 if she hadn't shot it into the 8. So looks like Hank's got his first pretty good opportunity here. Get some momentum. Has a pretty open rack here.
I think the 4 to the 5 is probably going to be his trickiest shot.
Yeah.
He's got to get on the right side of the 4 here. Other than that, it's pretty...
Yeah, and that's not crazy hard.
Nah.
So I say barring any huge mistakes here, he's in pretty good shape to get on the board here. So
the question is, this on digital, the bracket is on Digital Pool, and if you go into the tournament section on Digital Pool and punch in Q It Up Elite, the bracket will come up.
yeah, if you search for Varsity Club, I think it's the first one there too. So
Yep.
either way, should get you. Yeah, so Hank had a good opportunity to get out there, but it's one of those, that you were talking about a drag draw shot. That was one of those where he just needed to get a little bit of pop to it to get that cue ball drawn back. But in that process would have been going right at the corner pocket or pretty close to it. So not really worth the risk in Hank's mind, it looks like. So went for a safe and executed a pretty good safe. Margaret's going to have to work a little bit to get a hit here, which she did. Got a good hit. Didn't hide Hank on this one, so I am going to bet that we're going to see a safe played back. That's usually the best way to get them to just fire a bank in and make you look like an idiot. So, see how this goes.
Absolutely. Happens to me every single stream,
Right.
without a doubt. And that's a good two-way
Hey,
shot.
I was right.
That's a good two-way shot.
He did not try to bank that.
No.
That was a one-way shot.
That was definitely a one-way shot.
Yeah. Hit it good. All right, so Margaret is going to be kicking again. I think she's got a decent chance of hitting this ball, but the problem is, even if she kicks this in, she's really in trouble behind that 5. So I don't think she's going to be trying to make it as much as just getting a hit, avoiding giving up ball in hand. Man, this definitely adds a lot of complexity shooting over that 5 ball.
Good hit. Oh,
Hit it great.
and it goes off the 8 ball.
Sure did, but like I mentioned,
Giving
even if
her,
she makes that ball, it doesn't really help her a lot.
not offensively, but it definitely helps her defensively instead
Yeah.
of having to kick at a ball. This is huge.
Yep. Yeah, it's a shot that goes from taking her from a defensive position to an offensive position to being able to just play safe here and being on the front end of the back and forth instead of always just trying to get a hit. So, hit it great.
My outer points are starting to melt a little. Jeez.
Got a little too much hot air coming in here, or what?
It's always the case when I'm in here.
Turn the air up a little bit here. Little Cheddar's trying to
Melted
turn himself
cheese.
into Cheese Whiz. What? What is that for?
YouTube did that. That was YouTube's censor button.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. All right, Margaret, going to thin the left side of this 5 ball and get behind that 7 somewhere over there. Right about there is perfect.
Oh, she may have left a sliver.
Oh, no.
Yeah. She did. I'm looking right down the barrel of it.
In between?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. She can Hank can just see a sliver of that 5 ball. See that?
Look at that.
It's not much.
No, it's not. I don't know if I would risk taking it.
I don't know if I would either.
No, that anything could happen.
You gotta hit that so good.
The weave on the cloth could take over. Well,
Yeah.
let's not be on that view then.
And
Good hit.
yeah,
Oh, leaving Margaret.
well, this should
And
be that window Margaret was looking for.
Do you know the time difference between here and Belarus? Is it 10 hours, 12 hours?
I would. Let's see.
Hey, Siri.
Does that work?
No. Hey, Alexa.
My name's Matt. Dale.
Oh, Matt. Yeah.
Siri or Alexa.
Okay.
When I went over to Belgium for work a while back, it was 9 hours.
Okay.
So I assume Belarus is further east, so maybe 10. You're probably right on that 10 hour range, I would think. Why do you ask?
Well, it's 7:06 standard time, Chicago time, if you will, central time zone in the U.S. So if you're tuning in California, it's 4 o'clock or 4:06, somewhere around there. So we've got a lot of pool for you yet tonight. If you're over in Europe somewhere, 10 hours, we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Oh, bobbled that ball.
Yikes.
Sometimes you just get too straight on a ball.
Did not expect that at all.
Not at all. Wow, this is a huge opportunity for Hank.
Yeah, it didn't leave Hank with, the simplest of shots either. And it's in the nemesis pocket too. It's in the nemesis pocket. Upper left is
dirty. Oh, how'd he hit it? It's in the hole. That's a great shot. Wow, and
that's an excellent shot.
Like most players would have looked at that for a solid couple minutes before shooting it. He just eyed it up and hey, we'll just shoot that in the hole. Great shot. He's on the board. Makes Margaret pay for that mistake. We're 1-1. 1881 is what I see on the scoreboard.
Oh, well done.
I'm smart.
Wouldn't it be 73,118,816.61?
That wasn't even
I mean, would it not?
I like how you waited till you got to the end, and oh crap, there's a bunch more numbers. So
we got to put the
gonna have to
cents
throw a
in there.
decimal point in there. And
Yeah,
you're
dollar
still
sign here
off
and
by
some
one.
cents, and
Yeah. A for effort.
I have more
D
money than-
minus on the execution.
yeah, that's same as my pool game.
Well, right. It looked good on paper.
Hey,
Hey,
he's really making Margaret pay for this now.
Winner chicken dinner. He is on the board again. 1882.
I think you can only get on the board once you've opened your account, but you know.
No, you just keep on climbing. All right. Well, that was a quick one.
Margaret's not too happy about missing that 9 ball now.
No, she wasn't happy before
No.
Hank made that ball that last game. So she's really not happy now.
I'll see if I can time this just right. Oh,
Not bad.
That was pretty close.
Yeah, that was.
That was pretty close.
That was good.
Explosion right on the rack.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we got a wing ball. One ball is accessible, but it doesn't really look very makeable from this point. So, gonna see some safety options here, or a safety option. Just try to slide that one ball behind the 7.
Well, left
Little
her a
much.
piece.
Boy, those are tricky. You gotta
Yeah,
hit
your
such
speed
little part
has
of
to be
it.
so precise on
Yeah.
that. So, would you go for the 9 ball here?
Absolutely. Just blast it. And right at the last second, close your eyes. Works like a charm.
And that's the professional pool commentary of Pat Strong there. That's
Yeah, exactly. I teach lessons.
sure.
I
Not
charge,
good ones,
I charge
but-
money for stuff like that. It's
See, I told you she was going for the 9.
She missed it though.
It's terrible.
There was a guy. We've got so many Minnesota players here in the house that reminds me of. I lived in the Twin Cities for a little while, and we'll go to Shooters down in Burnsville, and it was a huge pool. I think it's still the biggest pool hall in the Twin Cities. It got like 68 tables, 67.
Holy
tables.
cow, that's a lot of tables.
60.
Oh, look at it. Look at the roll on that.
Can you imagine 60
It's like a bowling alley.
tables? And most of them are 9-footers. In the Twin Cities, it's a lot harder to find, bar box 7-foot tables. Most everything is 9-footers.
All right, vertical airlines just about to take off.
Yeah. Let's do this. If she makes this, she'll be in good shape the rest of the rack.
Jeepers.
She hit that one ball like it was her job. See, it's funny for us because it's obviously not our jobs, but it actually is her job.
So if anybody would like to come in down to Varsity Club at any point tonight and either relieve myself or Matt Strong of their duties for the rest of the evening, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very little.
Didn't see the humor there.
Sure did.
It was a little funny.
It was a little funny. Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there.
That was unintentional, but now I'm going to use it on purpose. All right. Nicely. Oh, the lip. The lip strikes again.
Just a smidge of the outer points.
Wow. Yeah, that was brutal. That was very, very touchy shot. She hit that with pace at all, it would have scratched. So she got all that pocket that she could to keep from scratching, because the cue ball went off the outer point on that side pocket. So any more, she would have scratched. So stretched it as much as she could. Just couldn't get it.
Two options here for Hank.
There's more than two.
Oh, okay. Two that I see.
There you go.
As a 523 Fargo. Safety. Snuggle that cue ball right up next to that 9 ball.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit too straight for that.
Yeah.
Does have the opportunity to cut this 4 in the side and come 3 rails and get shape on that 5.
Oh, yeah.
But that's
no, 3 rails.
That's a
He'll be on the wrong
testy.
side of the 5. Looking like he's
all the way
going to
around.
make it.
All the way
he's
around.
got to get straight up now.
Oh, what
Yeah.
a fortunate
Wow.
little rub on the 6.
That was. Because if he would have got higher to the point, further towards the head string, he wouldn't have been able to cut that in the side. And where it is next to that side pocket, it would not have been available down in the corner. So definitely an opportune kiss off of that 6 ball.
So Mr. Andy Kuntz just sent you a message from Wisconsin Pool Players Society.
Hey, what's up, Andy?
Larry Dassos is looking at Margaret and Harrison's picture you have next to the scoreboard. Looks like they could be brother and sister. That's,
Yeah, it's not.
That's not far off.
No, it's not. I mean, they both have red shirts. That helps too. All right, Hank is loving life here. Should clear these without too much of a problem. Is his playing cue a break cue?
It looks like a Predator break cue.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it look like a?
Look at the tip though.
Well,
and
no,
the
I don't
ferrule.
mean. I don't mean the shaft. I
Right.
mean the butt. The
Yeah.
butt end.
That is different. I've never seen that.
Yeah. It might be. It might be a custom. I don't know.
And he also has the BK Rush as the brake cue,
Right.
with a carbon fiber shaft.
But that's what doesn't the butt of his playing
Yeah,
cue look
that's
like a
interesting.
rush?
Obviously,
Interesting.
all Predator.
Yep. Big fan of Predator. So it looks like he's got a both. Yeah, everything's. He's got the Predator jump cue too. All right. So see if he gets the wing ball. Typically, when you're breaking 9 ball, you want to make the wing ball.
Yep, 5 went in
Bring
direct.
that 1 ball 2 rails down to get a shot on it. He didn't go 2 rails with the 1. It came almost straight back. Got a shot on the 1. Really can't ask for much more. That was a great break. Typically, when you're breaking 9 ball, that's your goal. Get a wing ball and control that cue or that 1 ball to get a shot.
How much has that missed 9 ball by Margaret cost her so far?
No kidding. Boy.
Instead of firing for that window and taking the risk, great shot on that 1 ball to get to where he needed to on that 2.
I was just about to comment that it really seems like he's comfortable with the speed. To hit that, he didn't hesitate with that at all. Was definitely going for that window, and that was a narrow window. But if he goes even another 6 inches, makes that a much thinner cut, much more difficult cut, and a foot further. He's looking at a very difficult bank. So definitely a confident position play there. And Houston, we have a problem. Do I get hit with the commentator's curse on that? I was kind of
You
telling him
actually
how
should.
well he plays position,
You
and then just
really should.
locks it behind the 9 ball. Oh, yeah, great. All right, Hank,
Yeah,
you can.
I think you
can
should.
blame me for that one. Sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, I actually. We had a handful of players come down last night, just to get some practice on the tables, and Hank. Jed, I think, was the name of the other guy. Rob was here. Rob Matson didn't play the Friday night, but he was down here shooting. Tom McCluskey was here, and Hank and Jed, I believe, were the 2 that split first and second. I took third. I was very disappointed not to be able to defend my home turf. But a race to 2 was it always is interesting.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Plus, we got somebody taking about $700 out of the break pot last night too. Huh?
Yeah, Troy. And he could have taken a lot more too. He ended up early misplaying position on the fourth ball, and ended up quitting. But if he would have got position, he needed to draw back.
Great shot.
Needed to draw back about a foot, and he drew back about 3 feet, and so that pretty much put him out of line. And under that pressure, the way we do it is, if you go for the shot and you miss it, you lose everything.
It's all gone.
So all of a sudden, that's a whole different kind of pressure. Basically, he was shooting for $700 a ball, or $700,
right? Right.
For that shot. So
yeah, he said it was like $230 a ball or something, right?
Yeah.
That's some serious cash.
Yeah, makes it exciting.
So I'm going to give everybody kind of a rundown, because they're asking about, so this bracket and everything's on Digital Pool. I want to give you an idea of how good this young man, Hank, plays. His very first match was against Nate Mindham and beat him 8-3. Okay? Next match,
and
has to play John Giles.
Nate's won a couple of the tour stops, hasn't he?
He has.
Nate's been playing good.
Beats John Giles 8-2. Then meets a fellow Minnesotan, Demetrius Gelatis, a 723 Fargo, and beats him 8-5.
This is a tough shot here.
This kid has no fear. Excellent.
Yeah.
Matt, if you don't mind, would you kill the air conditioning? My outer points are getting a little firm now.
Boy, you are really
I know,
picky.
I'm pretty demanding. Very demanding.
All right, you were talking about Hank, how he's doing so far?
Oh, that was it.
His road to where he's at?
Beat Demetrius Gelatis 8-5, and now he's playing Margaret Styer for the hot seat against Rob Matson. So I think, I don't know what the discussion is between the players over there.
Yeah, Margaret was chatting with Hank about something.
They might be discussing the score, because they are scoring on the Digital Pool app on their phones. So they may have missed one, because I don't see any.
What does it say?
Chips on the table right now. I do.
The bracket to see what it says. That's one of the nice things about Digital Pool too. It has
3-2 Harrison.
Live scoring. So if you're watching from home, you can not just wait for the final score. You can see, kind of sweat the match, so to speak, at least score wise, as they're going through. It's a live update. As long as they use it, which most people do. Not all of them, but most people do. Jamie Caston, thank you. Yes, I did.
He's already owned up to it.
I may have cost Hank that match.
Sure.
So I don't have him in the Kolkata, so I don't care. I mean, he's a decent kid and everything, but I got no skin in the game.
So, Bill Sorensen, I would greatly appreciate that you don't talk about things that happen in the booth anymore. What happens in the booth stays in the booth. So, thank you.
I feel uncomfortable. Touchy with your points? Yeah, I don't want to.
I have no idea what Bill's talking about here.
So
he was here earlier, and
change the subject.
Yeah,
Margaret, racking those balls nice and tight. How about those Packers, huh?
What happened?
I'm just trying to change the subject.
Oh, okay. Did they play today? Are they the Super Bowl? Right? They're in the Super Bowl.
Yep. Yeah, pretty sure.
Hey, Bill, how's your gardening going?
Does Margaret have a red tip?
That's the icebreaker.
Ooh.
I've had one of them. Look at that wing ball just flying in that corner there.
Yeah, she got a little too much distance on that one ball, though.
Yeah.
Came up a little bit too high. It's a very common break. Kind of almost a little pop break. Gives you that one ball in the wing ball in the corner.
Where do you push out to here, Matt, if you're playing?
Boy, I don't think I would push. I would. So obviously, I made the wrong decision here, because she's going to make the better decision. I personally would have tried to thin the left side of the 1, and then bring the cue ball down table, 3 rails behind that 1, or the 3.
And I'm not questioning Margaret's decision, but I kind of like what you're saying better, because what does Margaret do now? And obviously she had something in mind.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think she was.
Where is she trying to get this cue
in
ball?
A better position than where she's at right now? Honestly, I think she's going to be playing the same thing. Probably just thin that 1, but man, thinning at full table is really difficult.
Yeah, we got 6.5 feet or 2 little cheddars. That's a long distance. I figured I'd beat Kevin Dorn to it. I'm sure he's watching. So.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I was thinking that last shot.
Oh, and it scooted out of there right between the 4 and the 8.
I think if she would have shot that where she was before she pushed, she would have executed that very well.
I believe you are correct.
So much more difficult by getting it down table.
Well, 1 to the 3 is no picnic.
Yeah, for sure.
8 does not have a pocket
I think
yet.
you hit this with low left.
Oh my.
Wow.
That almost...
He was just...
found the bottom of the pocket there.
Yeah, he was just putting draw on that just to keep the cue ball on the table, out of that corner pocket. A little bit hard.
So we've got Bob Mady tuning in and wondering where my balls are.
He didn't say anything about your balls.
The Chris Henry training balls,
right?
That he won in the chat last night. So technically, they're still my balls because they're in my booth yet, but they are Bob's balls.
Wow, say that 10 times fast. Actually, don't. Just don't. All right, that was a great idea.
Execution.
I don't think she hit the 3 though.
Yeah, she has left him with a shot and a golden opportunity to come to the backside of the 9 ball and break that 8 free.
Yeah. Here you're just trying to make the ball.
Uh-oh.
And he's going to get fortunate.
That is very fortunate roll.
Yeah. You can see by the look on his face that that's not what he was trying. But
Margaret's going for the 9 ball, and it's wired.
It's wired.
You can't miss it.
I don't know how you just got to hit it.
That's
right?
It. I'm telling you.
I don't know why he's even making her shoot it. Just concede this. Like,
I'll mark it down. It's 3. Margaret
right,
just
3-3.
Yeah. It's 3-3.
Yeah. We're just doing this one for the fans.
Let me get the replay button. Oh, not working.
All right. I've talked to Margaret about her jumping technique, and what she'll do is when she's down aiming that shot up, what she does is she picks a spot.
Look at this. Right behind the 7. No. Picks a spot on the ball?
She picks on the she picks a spot on the felt. As she's basically getting that line, and then she'll find a spot on the felt maybe 2 or 3 feet in front of her
where she wants to land
focus. No, that's her aiming. That's her aiming. That's her line.
I like that.
Her aiming line. And then because the thing is when you're jacked up like that, your neck's kinked, and it's really difficult to actually see down table that ball that you're shooting at, and being able to straighten your neck out a little bit makes a huge difference as far as comfort and execution when you're jacked up, with that shoulder up high like that.
Oh, not for me. I'm at 4. I'm at this is perfect height for me with my 1'6", 1'7" jump cue. So you could preach
legal size.
You could preach to everybody else.
There is a
that,
minimum length requirement for a jump cue. Fortunately, there isn't a minimum length requirement for players.
Commentators or
otherwise
players. What a fabulous shot by Margaret Fefilova Styer.
Shot.
That was fantastic.
That's a game winner right there.
No doubt. Bill Hocus Pocus Larson just joining us, and what did you miss? The only thing that's been missed in this match right now is you, Bill. Everybody in the chat has been wondering where the hell is
like
Bill.
We're going to continue to miss Bill. He said he's not going to make it down tonight. No, that's Bill Sorensen.
Bill Sorensen, yeah. We don't miss him.
No, not at all. Ba is asking if I would like to know his jump theory. Yeah, close your eyes, Ba. That's your strategy.
Yeah, great theory. It's in all the pool training manuals.
So,
just close your eyes.
So a few years back, I was helping Mike Gans out with his jump cue booth, and he was doing a challenge.
The zero gravity
match. Yeah, zero gravity. Phenomenal jump cue. And so he was having a challenge where basically it's like a pig challenge or like horse.
Sure.
But, pig, so not quite as long, less letters. And
okay.
He's got one jump that is a difficult jump to make. And he just shoots that same stupid shot over and over and over again until he beats you.
Did you hear that, Mike Gans? Stupid shot. Those are the words of Matt Strong, one of your dear friends.
He beat me multiple times and will not let it go. Every time I used to look forward to seeing Ba. Not so much anymore. All I got to do is hear him talk about that time that he beat me years ago. All right, Waterboy 24. Is Tyler playing in this tournament? He is not. He is in the UK Open, or was anyway. I believe they're down to the final few.
Yeah, finished 17th.
Yeah, placed in the money, I believe, but
$20 for his efforts.
Ooh,
that was nice.
Yeah, that'll probably cover a plane ticket, right?
Paid for the bottle of water on the airfare.
Right.
All right. Hank has requested a brief timeout. So what we're going to do is head on over to the sponsor page because there's a whole bunch of people. You know what? I'm going to actually...
It's a long list.
I'll change. It is. There's
a lot of people that want to give you money.
And I have a new subscriber today, which is his name is Jess Magnus, and he would like to be a sponsor of Outer Points Productions as well. And I can't thank everybody enough. Before, I left off with Matt Strong, as a matter of fact, of Strong Knife Company. Matt, tell everybody what it is that you do with Strong Knives.
So about a couple of years ago, I started making custom knives. And so I started with outdoor knives, which is I've got a hunter and then a fillet knife. I got a couple different varieties of a fillet knife. I got a standard and then a panfish specialty, which is a shorter blade for panfish. But anyways, I've always been good with my hands. I've really enjoyed, I started with woodworking and love making stuff. And so I ended up, my position got eliminated at work, and my buddy Rich Stadler, who is here on this list, he said, "You should make knives." I was like, "That sounds cool. I'll do that." And I did. And so I'm not particularly really a knife guy. I don't have a knife that I carry all day, every day, stuff like that. But like I said, love making knives, and so I got into it, and it's definitely a newfound passion. So I love doing that. I then graduated into kitchen knives, making like a chef's knife, nikiri, petty, paring knife, and then I got a big cleaver coming that I have yet to unveil. But love doing it. It's really cool as an opportunity to really, I think a lot of the beauty of the knives come from the handles. And so getting the handle material, different types of woods, resins, epoxies, things like that. And one of the things that I end up doing now is because most of the handle material you buy online, and it's one of those things where the person that has the handle material, they just post it, and whoever comments first gets it. And so it's a lot of different makers. It's not just knife makers, but it's also a lot of cue makers that are out there. A lot of 18-inch stuff, which is the length that you need for cues. So just the other day, I lost a bid on something to a custom cue maker, which was I didn't want to lose it, but it was kind of cool knowing that it was a really awesome piece that was going to be going to a custom cue someday. So yeah, I make knives and really enjoy doing it. And I've had a ton of support from the pool community. I probably had half the knives that I've sold so far have been to people in the pool community. So that's been awesome.
Has Dumper Dan bought any of your knives?
I don't believe he has yet.
Okay. All right, wing ball going in. Well, look at this break again.
Nice. Beautiful.
Perfect shot on the 1 ball. 8 goes in the side. 2, I think, passes the 7 ball. I think she can catch the right-hand outer point.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got probably half a pocket there. But
actually, she could play it all the way down if she gets on the rail here and plays it past the 2, and that'll give her perfect shape for the 3.
Where'd you get that idea, Dale?
Was it because she was pointing at it?
Pointing at it.
Why do you have to be that guy? Seriously, why do you have to be that guy?
I don't know where these great ideas come from, Dale. Not like she's telescoping it to you right there in front of you. Tyler Styer has entered the chat.
We don't even talk to that guy.
Yeah, said his ears are bleeding listening to these two. Thank you very much.
That's actually one of the nicest compliments we've gotten today.
Yeah,
that's really special, Tyler. Thank you.
He didn't cuss or anything.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, a question from the chat. Did she beat Jessie? Yes, she did.
8-4.
Yeah. Played great.
I believe she missed 1 shot in the entire match.
Yep. That's awesome.
Played some incredible safes against Jessie, and not just where Jessie had to kick 1 rail. Yeah. He had to kick 2, if not 3 rails. It was locked tight to the backside of a ball. So her safes were spot on.
Yeah. One of the things that I've noticed about Margaret today, anyway, is she's really seeming to play with confidence. She's, especially in her break. Her break she's really let her break loose, and she's hitting it great. That's really good to see. Here in Wisconsin, pretty much all tournaments are bar box, so you just assume that's what everybody else plays. But Margaret does not play bar box.
No, she does not.
Ever. So her, just playing in the bar box tournament today is definitely putting herself out of her comfort zone, to be able to play these things. I was talking to her a little bit earlier, and she said she's got to constantly think, keep in the back of her mind that she needs to slow her stroke down a little bit. Because on a 9-foot table, you really have to move that cue ball.
Mm-hmm.
And in 9-ball, it's not as bad as it is in 8-ball, but even so, you don't want to let that cue ball get away from you. You don't want to let that big stroke out. Much smaller table, much smaller windows, really can get you in trouble. But she feels, she's looking very confident at the table, and I think the results thus far reflect that.
It's funny because one of the conversations Margaret and I were having earlier, she kind of mentioned the fact that, because I said, hey, get out there and share the post to your page and everything else. She's like, what? No.
Shameless self-promotion?
No, it's not. It's not that. She's like, I don't want people knowing that I'm playing in a bar box.
Oh, the shame.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
Yeah, we could get her some really good press. She wins this tournament. Margaret Styer,
the new
bar box
queen
champion.
How does that sound, Tyler?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I did check your private message, Tyler. Just not going to commentate on air or comment on air.
Aren't you a commentator? A commentator that doesn't commentate?
Some may call me that. Some, I would say most, probably not.
Before they really hear you talk, they'll give you that.
Before they hear me talk, it's usually... So what circus do you work for? And what ride are you normally in charge of? So how many years were you in the midget toss? Stuff like that.
Is that where you got your all the issues from?
Excuse me?
Your what do they call that?
What issues are you referring to here?
The mental impairment.
Wing ball. Down. No shot on the one.
She has been struggling getting a shot on that one ball consistently. And it's a hard balance because you not only have to get that cue ball to stay in one spot, but you got to make sure that you're getting the right speed on that one ball. It goes too far, you've got it on the end rail, which is a very difficult shot. And you hit it short, and it's going to go, it just goes past that side pocket, and you have maybe a bank if you're lucky. So
Tyler Styer says, sounds great. Sugar Mama, hey, you're very welcome, Puddin' Cup.
I'm not even going to ask on that one. I have no idea what you're talking about there.
He was talking to me, right? You said
yeah, but where the hell did Puddin' Cup come from?
He called me Sugar Mama. I thought...
So that's the response to Sugar Mama?
Yeah, he's
my
Puddin'
Cup?
Puddin' Cup.
Jeez, I don't know. I've been out of the loop on this stuff. I don't know.
Brad Klein, what's going on? He's back again.
Oh, yeah? All right, got a question said, is this an open tournament? Anyone can enter. That is correct.
Margaret pushing into a thin hit on the one ball. Actually, a super cut between the 4 and the 7 ball if Hank decides to take on the challenge.
I think he might be able to see enough of that to bank. That's tight, though. I think he's probably going to try to shoot that one ball down table, put the one ball between the 4 and the 7, and bring that cue ball back behind the deuce. Which is what he was going for, but didn't quite get that cue ball back behind the 2.
Yeah, now Margaret's either going to thin the heck out of the left side of this one ball and bring that cue ball back down by the 8 or the 4 or somewhere, hope that one ball gets behind the 5 and the 9, or the opposite. Do the same with get the cue ball behind the 5 and the 9. I think she's going to get the cue ball behind the 5 and the 9.
I think she's going to thin it on the left side and bring the cue ball 2 rails around.
Oh, yep.
Boy, that's pretty unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate.
That the one ball leaked between that 5 and the 9. If that one ball would have hit either the 5 or the 9, even quarter ball, she would have locked him up, so where you can't see the one. But, man, hit it so perfect that it got through there. And Hank now has a shot. It's not an easy shot, but it's a makeable shot.
My apologies, Tyler.
Is he trying to clarify
totally
what you're saying?
Yeah, totally misinterpret your affections.
He has referred to Margaret as his sugar mama before. So,
I have not. I have never said that.
Not talking about you, Dave.
Oh, Tyler. Oh, okay.
As in life, not everything is about you. Okay? Jeez, it's like pulling teeth with this guy. All right, so Hank made a great shot to get started, and moving on. Hank's in pretty good shape here. Straight in shot sometimes can be a little bit difficult, so don't bobble this ball. Oh, I tried my best to commentator curse him, but it didn't work.
It's not a real thing.
Attaboy, Hank. Attaboy. He's in good shape here. So if he could find his way out of this rack, he will tie things up. This is a little bit tricky because that 7 ball does not go past the 8. So he's going to have to put it, down in the corner or set up for a bank. And the thing is where that 9 ball is, normally you would play it to where you have a little bit of an angle on the 5, go 2 rails around to get behind that 7. Where that 9 ball is, that's going to be a problem. So where he's at now, he's got a thin, just a slight angle here. So I think he's just going to draw back up table off of this, put a good stroke on it. Yep, hit it good. This is still not an easy shot, though.
Oh, definitely not. He's got to use some inside English to avoid that side pocket over there, or outside, which throws it a little bit on the short side. So, yeah, you are correct. This is not simple.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really have to play shape here. Just needs to make the ball, but still.
And avoid a scratch. Yep, he went with inside English. I think that was obviously the proper shot because he's got a shot on it.
It worked. We're good. Question
3
from
rails.
the chat. Are they using Simonis? Yes, we do have Simonis here at the Varsity Club.
Slow-mo billiards, can we do a poll on getting rid of the baby laugh? You know what? That makes me want to keep it even more.
You got to go reverse psychology with Dale.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, that is the most amazing sound I've ever heard in my life. If you could just play it on loop over and over again,
Absolutely.
that would be the best thing ever.
Absolutely.
Okay, I take it back. I take it back.
You're more than welcome to hear it.
Abort. That didn't work.
Nice try, slow-mo billiards.
All right, that was a nice out by Hank there. He had a couple tricky shots. He really had to hit well. That first shot was a bit of a tester, to make the ball, but got it and was able to navigate the 5 to the 7 and got that 7 in. And we got a little bit of a discussion on the rack. All right, so they're chatting a little bit about the rack here, but it doesn't look like anything too serious. So Hank is proceeding to break here, all tied up.
Boy, he hits him hard.
Yeah.
And comes up dry for the first time, I think, for either one of the players. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I think it was rack 2. Somebody came up dry.
Okay.
But, yeah, left Margaret with, I would say simple, but not too bad. There's really not a lot of, nothing tied up anyway.
Yeah.
4 to the 5 might be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, with that 6 ball there, the 5 ball definitely has a much smaller window to get in there and pocket it.
Joseph Marwitz says, I agree, get rid of it. Cardboard King, was there a Kolkata? Yes, there was 3 opening bids. First opening bid was Jesse Engel. Second opening bid was Tom McCluskey. And third opening bid was Rob Madsen. And then I believe, and Matt might be able to clarify, I think Margaret went for
$480.
Yes, I think like 5th highest or 6th highest, something like that.
Somewhere in there. Yep. But as we were discussing before, we have, the top 10 players are average out to 712. So there was what we call a plethora of monsters in this field that were available for purchase for the player auction. So that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of the discussion leading up to the tournament is who do you buy? Who do you buy in the Kolkata? And man, we've got, one of the things that makes a great Kolkata is a lot of players that can win. Typically when you have that situation where you've got, one just, top-notch player that is just expected to run away with, that one person goes for a crazy amount. And that's great. You get a lot of money for that one person, but then the rest of the Kolkata does nothing. You know, because nobody believes anybody else can win.
Yeah, they're going for 50, 60, 80
right,
bucks
if
somewhere
that,
around there.
You know, minimum, you know, that's it.
Buying themselves.
But that is not the case today because we had a whole bunch of players in the field that could win. All right, so we had a question. Is the 9 on the spot? It looked strange from the overhead, almost like the second row of balls were on the spot. No, the 1 is on the spot. That's how we're playing this today. I know that is a popular other option for 9 ball, and it kind of takes the break away a little bit, you know, because if you rack things right, that wing ball usually goes in. And so it makes the break itself much easier. And so that's one of the things. I've actually talked with Mike a little bit about maybe thinking about different options that he can do for future events. But when he advertised this, he just advertised a good old 9 ball, nothing special as far as those unique rules. So we're just racking the 1 on the spot and running with that. Margaret's in great shape here.
She works out.
Getting on the right side of the balls, so to speak. And I don't see any major issue here with anything she's got.
No, 8 to the 9 should be pretty elementary.
Yeah, I think 2 rails down table should be fine with that.
Ooh, she was a little concerned about that one.
She gave that a little extra.
Yeah, the Ushka
See that,
look.
that focused, that angry, whatever look you want to call it. She's like, you better not bobble, you son of a... You were supposed to beep there. There we go.
YouTube's a little late on
right.
sometimes.
Yeah. And she's in good shape here. One of the things that in the last few years I've really started to try to implement into my game as far as position goes is trying to keep from getting that cue ball on up against the rail when you're shooting it.
Me too.
That's one thing when you watch, you know, the pros. We're fortunate enough to be watching one of the top female pros in the world today. So we've got one here, but that's one that's very common. That you'll see as they're playing position is they stay away from getting that cue ball up against the rail. Really adds a lot of difficulty, even on a straight-in shot.
You bet. One of the biggest differences that I've always noticed watching the pros and even Margaret today is versus amateur players is you're going to see amateur players slow roll a ball pretty often, whether it be the cue ball or the object ball that they're trying to hit. You never see they don't let the table have the advantage. They don't allow the table to give them a bad roll or complain about it afterwards. You know, they're always hitting the ball with authority. You know, and whether it be a stun or a follow or a force follow or any of the above, draw shot, anything. It's always, it's got finesse yet meaning to it, meaning behind it.
Meaning. Finesse plus meaning.
It's big for Dale. That's big for Little Cheddar.
You might be onto something, Dale.
Thank you.
You should go into coaching.
You could use that in your training seminars.
What's that? Finesse plus... What was it? I already forgot what we were saying.
Care.
That's what it was. Yeah, that doesn't feel right. All right, so...
Meaning.
There it is.
Finesse and meaning.
There it is.
All right, so Margaret pulling back into the lead again has a medium to thin cut on the 1 ball and probably going to come 2 rails. Yeah, right where there she's pointing there. That's great commentary. Thank you.
Such a good job of pointing out the obvious.
Well,
so I think Margaret is going to try to put the cue ball where she is specifically pointing to with her cue right now. That is my expert opinion.
I have a mute button for your microphone right next to my finger. So everybody tuning in, get in the chat and thank Matt for stopping in today into the booth. He won't be talking anymore. You're stuck with just me for the rest of this match. So,
well, thanks, Dale.
Anytime.
Hey, I'm back on. All right.
G1902. Rob Madsen is sitting in the hot seat.
No,
yes, he is.
He is.
No, I'm sorry.
The hot seat match.
The hot seat match.
There
The
you go.
winner of this match plays Rob next.
Yeah. It was so good to see Rob again. It's been a long time since I've seen Rob. 10, maybe 15 years ago, Rob was arguably the top amateur in probably the nation, or at least in the running.
Look
for
at this
that.
speed.
Definitely in the Midwest, and he took. I was talking to him a little bit last night. He said he took 11 years off, and so yeah, he's back at it. Good to see.
So I played Rob up in Red Wing, Minnesota, many, many, many years back when I was playing all the time. And that was my first introduction to Rob Madsen.
How'd that
and
go?
Actually, Chad Vilmont as well.
Oh.
So
So how'd that work out for you, Dale?
I played Rob my first match.
Okay.
And I lost just barely.
Yeah? Was it like 9-1?
So no,
Real close.
I actually used to play a lot better than what I do now. I don't even get to play anymore. So anyway, so then I run into Chad Vilmont, which I don't even know how he ended up in the losers bracket.
Yeah,
So
right.
that was one of my favorite 2-and-outs.
Yeah, that guy's a beast. Or was, anyway. I don't know if he's still playing. I haven't seen him
I
in a
have
long
not
time.
seen Chad in so long.
Yeah. All right, so Margaret here is going to have to navigate a breakout. This is now watch her figure this out. So many amateur players will be, myself included, not
Just hit it
calling
hard and
anybody
hope.
out. Yeah, you just blast into it and cross your fingers and try to get a shot.
I think she's going to avoid the 5 completely, run the 7 into the. That's kind of what I was thinking. Unfortunately, the 7 just stuck there.
Yeah, 7 stuck on her. She hit it good. You had that call really, like you were right there on that one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, nice work. She didn't even have to point at it for you to call it out, too.
Wow, brutal. It's just brutal.
It's funny because it's true.
G1902 said drugs.
Drugs? Is that Vilmont? I assume that may be Vilmont that she's talking about, but I would not want to start any rumors.
Nope. Oh, look at this safe.
Wow. She hit that really good. Really well. She didn't hide it. Hank's going to be able to hit the ball. No problem hitting it. But what would you do here, Dale?
I would thin the left side of the 4 ball
Okay.
and make sure it stays right there snuggled up against the 8 ball and try to get that cue ball right kind of where it is.
Yeah. I like that. I like the fact that since you have that 8 ball there, it's going to hold it.
Yep.
A lot of times when you're trying to...
And look at what he ended up
Yeah. that
jacked
was
up
good.
over the 7. That is good.
I was fortunate. That's one of the, a great example of a lot of times people look at a safe and they're like, I got to lock them up. I got to get it to where they can't see the ball. And sometimes just making it tough is good enough. I think, he's in pretty good shape here. Margaret is going to have to come with a phenomenal shot to be able to, get to any sort of offensive shot to make a ball here. Even if she's just trying to play defensive, it's a difficult shot for sure. So, Wow, is she close to that 7? Look how tight she's queuing on that ball.
She did the same
So
exact
well.
thing. And this, look at this
Look
shot.
at that touch. Wow. And she needed to, because where that 8 ball ended up, it's a very makeable shot. So if she doesn't hide that cue ball, she's in trouble.
And the crowd just goes, berserk.
Yeah, it was a little delayed, but they got into it. Looking back on some of the comments here, Bill Sorensen said he's a cutting machine. Has made several in this match. Is he sponsored by Strong Knife Company?
Oh,
he is not,
what
but I
a-
like it.
What a fabulous play on words there. Oh, look
I
out.
like it.
Oh, he's going to leave Margaret
Oh,
with...
man, another inch there, and he would have been really golden. But as it lies, Margaret has a very makeable shot here. 5-ball passes the 7, so I would say that Hank is not going to see this table again.
Larry Dasso, yes, the score is correct. All right, going to play the 5 and the 7 in the same pocket. Stun it off the rail just a smidge.
Yep.
Actually, get straight on would be perfect on the 7. Aw, thank you, Aria. That is greatly appreciated. Thank you. That is really nice to say.
Is Arya doing some day drinking?
Oh, wait. Who was it that was...
Oh, yeah. We're gonna. There it is.
Yeah.
Everybody was waiting for it.
Thank you, Aria.
Yeah, thanks, Arya. All right. Margaret is in good shape here. I think I'm with you, Dale. I think she would have been a little bit better if she was straight on that. But where the 8 lies doesn't really matter too much. She's got quite a few different options here to get a shot on the 8. She hit that great. Nice touch. Good spin. The cue ball floats out to the middle of the table right where you want to be. A lot of times there's drills. I've seen a lot of variations of drills where you're shooting balls and the object is to get that cue ball back to center table every single time.
Is it a DeWalt drill or a Craftsman? Or is
Milwaukee.
it a Milwaukee?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, yeah, we are in Wisconsin.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Jeez, too.
Yeah, that does make sense. Program. Sorry. Okay, 6-4 in favor of Margaret. And Hank has requested yet another timeout. So we're going to go back to our sponsor page over here and mention the rest of these fine folks. Dumper Dan Welch from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, the port of Sheboygan.
I got to get out fishing with that.
You and I both. Actually, so Dan said that what he'd like to do is get a whole bunch of pool players together and go out in a couple of weeks.
That would be awesome.
That would be a blast. So, #1 charter fisherman on the entire Lake Michigan.
Yeah, he's got a whole fleet, doesn't he?
6 boats plus his own personal 2 or 5 or something like that. Yeah,
well, that's one thing. When you're out there fishing, if you have a fleet, because it's all about finding the fish. You know, when you get out there, I've been out there a handful of times with various charters, and it's basically super, deep water, obviously. There's not a ton of structure, so it's just a matter of finding out where the fish are.
And Dan
in that deep blue water.
He will put you on the salmon.
Well, if you've got 6 boats, what are the odds that you're going to find fish? So what they do is they all go out, they have their strategy, they're going to try different areas. Well, when one gets on the fish, what do? They let the other boats know.
Radio the other 5.
Exactly. So instead of fishing with 1 boat, you're fishing with 6.
No doubt.
So it's just a great idea on how to do it.
Rich and Sue Stadler, you may have heard Rich in the chat, in the booth, the very first match of the day earlier. I think it was Ray Southstrip, and I can't remember who he played first. Oh, Jeremy Fetkenauer. Of billet spin, Sue Stadler is actually sitting out here waiting for her husband to get off the golf course.
Yeah, come on,
and of
Rich.
course, Wisconsin Pool Players Society, 10,200 members.
So are we just going to be referring to Andy as Mr. 10,000 from here on out?
10,200.
I know, that's just too long. You got to shorten it up, It's got to have a little bit of a ring to it.
So Andy Kuntz from Wisconsin Pool Players Society.
What's up, Andy?
His wife, Bobby Jo Kuntz, has just recently started her own realtor business in Waupun, and it's called Home Sweet Home. So if you zoom in on your television or your phone, whatever you're looking at Outer Points Productions on, and her phone number is right at the very bottom. So I'm going to get through these last 4. Make sure before Midstate Amusements is Mr. Brent Lucas out of Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. And Brett and Owen were here earlier.
Yeah,
the
I just saw them walk by
family.
a couple minutes ago.
Yeah. Oh, they are back.
Still here.
One of my latest sponsors. And then, of course, we have Lynn Dorn, and her husband.
And
They
her
own
husband.
they own a painting and staining company, which actually I do a lot of the houses that they paint and stain all the trim and baseboards. That is trim, but anyway. And then last but definitely not least, my most recent sponsor, Jeff and Maggie Hefter out of Fond du Lac as well, and they own Johnco Express, which is a nationwide trucking company. So it's one of the things I say all the time. I can't thank my sponsors enough, and I thank you for being on board and supporting what we're doing here at the Varsity Club, because it means absolutely everything to myself, the viewers, and this is just the beginning. So looking forward to a long, happy relationship together.
Yeah, you've got a phenomenal list of sponsors there, Dale. That's awesome to
I'm
get
honored.
that sort of support. You know, from
I
listeners.
honestly, I am. Thank you for saying that, Matt. I'm honored. I'm great. I'm very grateful.
So I take it they don't ever listen to
Not
the,
a one,
podcast. Well, that makes sense.
other than Matt Strong from Strong Knife Company.
Right. Yeah, that's really the only way that I would get involved in the sponsor side, was if I could get on the stream too. Because I'm vain like that.
You're more than welcome to play on the table anytime the cameras aren't on. 7 ball, the wing ball going
Yeah, where does the
directly
one ball go?
into that pocket.
So she got the wing ball. The one ball hit in one of the outer points, and unfortunately floated out into a spot on the table where it's not really, does not have a good pocket for it. Could try to combo the 6 in. That's a tough combo for sure. So,
Sean Hanna, you are 100% correct. Yes.
yep. Yep, he's the first one to make it to the hot seat
The
match.
winner of this match will be playing Rob.
All right, Dale, what would you do here?
Well, I would have already scratched on the break, so
Oh,
I don't even
okay.
understand why you're
Good
asking me this
strategy.
question.
Good strategy.
This is what I would do. I would push out
Here,
right
let me take a drink real quick so I can see what she's going to do before I call it. Oh,
that's what an
That's
expert commentator does.
that's how you get to that perfect level of mediocrity.
Well, I don't want to go above and beyond mediocrity, because then people are going to have such
Oh,
high
yeah,
expectations.
I know. Set the bar low.
It's hard for me to reach mediocre expectations at my height.
Right.
So it's that's not what he wanted. Oh, he did tie up
I
the
don't
3 though.
think so, but he's okay. I mean, the one ball's a tough shot in the side. I don't believe it passes the 4. So it's not the end of the world. I mean, you definitely, especially playing someone as talented as Margaret, you want to make sure that you're, putting her at a disadvantage anytime you're playing safe.
Matt, I hate to interrupt, but if you could please turn on the air conditioning again.
Again?
I'm sweating my cheese nuggets off here at the moment, so that'd be great. Thanks.
So how long is it going to be before you
Randy Paralick
ask me to
says,
shut it off then?
Mr. 1200. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
I read it earlier and I didn't know what it was.
Larry Dasso says, Ding Dong Daddy Sean Hanna. Did you win the tournament today at one shot? I saw you were in the hot seat earlier. Well. How did you do, Sean?
Curious about how Ding Dong Daddy came along, but the second I wondered, I also realized I probably don't want to ask. So
Some questions are definitely left.
better left unanswered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that was a great touch. That was pretty much all spin that got her there. Right hand English. And that cue ball just settled in. That's one thing that when I watch Rob Mattson play, is his cue ball is smooth. Like just the way that he
Effortless.
shoots. that cue ball is never really getting up at high speed. Like it just seems like it's always on purpose. And that was definitely obvious there when Margaret settled that cue ball in behind that 9-ball. So where we're at here
little
is,
shot to get to the 2-ball here.
Yeah, that's what
would you do there, Matt?
Here I would hit this with fairly extreme left, go 3 rails around, and it probably would end up getting 4 rails. Get in by that 2-ball. Yeah, she decided to. Boy, I think she's playing to a safe here. It's obvious what it looks like. She doesn't have a makeable shot here that I can see. So, yeah, I would have played that with some pace, tried to go 3 rails around into it, but it's one of those things that it's such a tricky shot where when you're hitting a ball thin like that, an 1/8 of an inch or even a 1/16 of an inch
shot.
Makes a huge difference when you're 3 rails down table.
Tough hit for Hank here. I mean, he's got to give this a little left-hand spin behind the 6-ball, or shorten it up with right-hand spin and hit it firm past the 6.
Yeah.
That's what he's opting to do.
Yeah. Margaret was definitely playing safe the whole way there.
Boy.
Great shot. Kicked it in. I don't believe that 9-ball leaked out enough to where he can make the 3 in the side. So probably looking at a safe again here. The nice thing about having that 8-ball there is you can just thin the 3 and it's gonna stop. You know exactly where it's gonna stop.
Get that cue ball back behind the 4.
And then you just got to get it behind the 4. Oh, it's got to get a rail. No rail. Yeah, he acknowledges it right away. Nothing got to a rail. Whew, that's
I
tough.
like his sportsmanship.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people would have just sat down there and hoped
And not said a word.
Your opponent didn't see anything.
And if anybody knows anything about the stream, one thing I don't, I don't tolerate.
You have lots of eyeballs, and it's one of those things where if it's just you and your opponent, a lot of times your opponent is always so focused on seeing whether or not she's going to get or they're going to get a shot. They aren't really looking at whether a ball hits a rail, and a lot of times you can get away with it. It's a lot harder when you got a lot of eyeballs. How many people do we have watching right now?
Look at that shot on the 9-ball.
Yeah.
That puts Margaret Fefilova Styer on the hill in this race to 8. And if she does successfully win this match, there is a good chance that actually I'm fairly certain that she will be playing Rob Batson on this table next. So,
yeah. Yeah, it says 146 watching now.
That would be
an awesome
correct.
Crowd. So that is 292 eyeballs plus ours.
I have a glass eye, so I don't know about anybody else out there.
All right.
So here's my question, and I was informed of this earlier, and please everybody pay attention because this is seriously important.
Oh boy.
Today and only today, YouTube has granted Outer Points Productions the like button and the share button are free. So you do not at any point, there's no charge whatsoever. So if you hit the like button and the share button, I promise you there's no credit cards, transactions, nothing at all. It will cost you $0.
$0?
So out of 148 that are watching right at the moment,
146. You lost 2.
Lost 2 already just by me talking.
Yeah, wrap it up, Dale.
All right, I got one more like. So we were talking about this earlier, and while Margaret is racking, I want to keep this stream free for everybody. Yep. No membership fees, no monthly due, no nothing. But the only way that I can keep it free is it's a very simple favor. Like it, share it with all your friends. Once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm monetized by YouTube. That makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, that's huge.
So I'm depending on all of my viewers out of 148 that are watching, there's only 29 likes. So like it, share it, and if I have to make you feel bad about it, I can do that too. So I may have just done that already, Melissa. All right, Margaret pocketing the wing ball look at all the balls going in the pocket here.
Yeah.
Holy guacamole. And I believe the 1 does pass the 5 ball.
Yep, looks like it does. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dale. If you're watching here, just hit the like. Like, that is so easy. Just do it.
It's free.
Just do it. Just get it done.
It is completely free.
Help those who are helping you, we're trying to support the pool community. Dale's done a great job here. Give him a little love. See,
beautiful. Beautiful. A little love.
That was a short joke.
Yeah, that was well played.
A lot of people would have missed that if I hadn't pointed it out.
So, yeah. There will be no more.
All right, Margaret hit that great. Not only did she thread the needle there, but she hit it with enough pace to pop that cue ball back a little bit to give her a very makeable angle on that 4 ball, which
and
she did without a problem.
And the exact same on the 5. Perfect angle to get to the 6. Thank you, everybody.
Said, Rob Madsen's probably the funniest guy to watch play pool besides Jesse Bowman. Obviously, you have not watched Scotty Tullifson play pool.
The most animated player in all of Minnesota, without a doubt. I love Scott Tullifson.
Oh my gosh.
His break.
Like he is about to have a stroke every single shot. And he is a beast of a player, too.
Is he ever.
Holy cow.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into this match. As I've said 100 times before, I am going to shut this stream down and restart it. That way all the players have the ability to find it on YouTube without going through 12 hours of content. So don't go anywhere. Wait for that. Hit that little bell. And then in about 15-20 minutes or somewhere around there, I'm going to get that set up again. Congratulations to Margaret Styer.
Nice
Moving
job,
on
Margaret.
to play Rob Matson for the hot seat. And Mr. Harrison Leinen is not out of it yet, so he will be coming through the 1-loss side. I am going to release Matt of his duties. Thank God.
Yeah.
It's about time. So we've got a lot more content coming yet tonight, if you hadn't noticed. Any idea how many players we have left, Matt?
No idea.
All right, let's take a look, shall
I'm
we?
guessing 11.
I think you might be spot on here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And 2 on the winner's side. Yeah, we might have a little bit less than that.
Yeah.
9.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
we got a little ways to go yet. It's 8:15 here in Wisconsin. So we probably got... We'll let Matt decide that, and Michael Taylor. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for all the likes and the shares. Outer Points Productions very much appreciates it. So we will be back in, 15-20 minutes or so. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And if you don't come back, enjoy the rest of your evening and the rest of your weekend. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there tomorrow. So see you soon, everybody.
See ya.